Hello, welcome to ALW Collectibles. Today we're taking a jump back into the world of the Transformers, this time to pre-Great War Cybertron with a cool looking 2-pack. This would be Transformers Legacy Evolution War Dawn 2-pack. Dion and Erial. And they look really cool. Of course, they are colors of previous figures, but really nice. We're going to do 2 videos on these. Each one have their own spotlight. So today we're going to take Erial out of the picture, and we are going to focus on Dion. And Dion himself is a really cool figure. I like the way this one looks. Love the redesign. Really interesting looking coloration. Nice color palette on it. Maintains a lot of gimmicks from the previous toys. Of course, he is a remold of the Transformers, the movie Studio Series 1986 Cup. And yeah, he looks really sharp. They come packaged in robot form, but I'm going to start them off in vehicle form today. So let's take a look at this little guy. Oop. I just realized that didn't clip in. And look, it's already starting to show you all the fun little accessories. Alrighty, that looks really cool. Of course, there's a lot of new accessories with this figure. Not a lot, but 2 new ones here. And then, of course, the redesign on the chest looks really cool. The head is redesigned. But overall, this color palette on him is really nice. The orange with the blue, and then the light blue with silver. See where everything's located on him. That's the only downside, is you can tell with the arms, the legs, and pretty much guess where the head's located. But overall, looks really cool. Cybertronian pickup truck. Rolls really nice. You can take the accessories off. We'll look at those separately, and these come off as well. It's like dropping. And of course, this mold was also made into Orion packs. So, really cool. That's what he looks like without any accessories. And I like him. You can see mine has a little bit of an issue. It doesn't like staying. The bed of the truck doesn't like staying where it should be. And this piece here on the back's added. The pegs. Really nice detail work. Looks like he's got plating up the sides. Some of the accessories he comes with. We're going to take a look at all of these. Of course, the standard musket laser, which came with Cup, which is just called a blaster for him, all cast in orange. Really cool looking. He has his Energon Goodie dispenser. It's actually cast in translucent blue and then painted in light blue. 5mm peg. And these are the newer pieces. These are either blasters or backpack or whatever you want to call them. They do go together. See, there's a slot there and a tab here and a slot there. And these can actually sit in the bed of the truck, or clipped on, or whatever you want to do with them. So, and they do form a quote-unquote blaster, and I do say quote-unquote because according to that, when you look it up as a list, these 5mm pegs underneath are supposed to be for blaster holding. Not really intimidating in my eyes. This would be more like a storage compartment. Interesting look. Let's put all that aside for a couple minutes. This is actually the 3rd incarnation of Dion. And Dion, for people who don't know, is part of the pre-war, I hit my camera, pre-war Transformer, and we're going to get into a little bit of bio on him. It's not really much of a bio, and it really depends on what continuity you follow him in. Having said all that, let's take a look at this guy. Let's transform him. Transformation is exactly like Rodimus. Not Rodimus. Wow. Orion Pax. So I did the Orion Pax figure already. First thing I'm going to do is this plate right here. Pop it loose. And now it doesn't want to do it. Alrighty then. Alright, so we're going to do it the alternate way. Pop the legs apart in the back. I was trying to do it the official Hasbro way and it didn't want to do it. Unclip this piece. Bring it up on the double hinge. And back. Out of your way. I'm just going to reclip the back here. Hasbro says to pop this piece first. I always end up having to pop the leg and then pop that. Up and back on the double hinge. So that they are back here now. Next. The only problem with doing that is now his arms popped off. Alright, so. This is the fun part. Because I just pop his arms off. And I set him aside for 1 minute. We'll put him back on in a second. This isn't how Hasbro says to do it. This is the way I always end up transforming him. Separate the legs. And then I just come back in here. And I just put his hands back where they belong. He's already showing one of his gimmicks early. Now, from here. I bring his waist up. I come to the inside of this. And I open that. I'm going to take that peg. Set it there. Because you'll see that one right there. There's two positions. Close. Bring this up. Fold this in so that it pegs. And bring that over the top. And I bring out his foot. Same thing over here. Open that. Close this piece. You'll see the two positions. The two peg placements. Close. I bring that up. That tab's going to peg in right there. That's going to close. And bring out his toe. And there are his legs. Mine does not like to stand up no matter what I do with him. Like so. Next we're going to come to the arms. And to do this, we're going to untab the side here and the side here. Like so. We're going to come to the back, or sorry, to the top, to this orange plate, unclip it. Yep. And we're going to stand him up. Like so. And we come to the back, move that out of the way. These wheels flip in. Wow, my guy's just having issues after issue today. Alright, so let's clip his wheel back on. Wow. There's one. And there's two. There's a peg here and a port there. That's going to come down on top of that. Peg right in. And this shoulder is actually going to rotate inward like that. This orange piece rotates up. And that gives you one shoulder. Same thing to there. And this whole orange piece with the shoulders on rotates up and locks into place. Now we come to his back. You're going to make sure that this is flush. You'll see where it clips in on both sides. This plate comes up. It's going to fold in like that. And then those two ports are going to go into those clips. Wow. I was having trouble speaking. And there is Dion. And I put his arms on backwards. Wow. In robot mode. And I'm expecting him to fall over because every time I've done this video, he's just decided he doesn't want to stand. And he looks pretty cool. I like the overall look. I think he looks really, really sharp. That's him without any accessories. Little bio on Dion. Dion is an Energon dock worker from the pre-war Cybertron times, during the Golden Age. He is the best friend of Orion Pax. There we go. I see what happened. Woo! As I throw his arm. Oh, hi people. If you come from my videos, you know the comedy act. I just noticed that was mistransformed. It was bothering me. Alright, so, he's best friends with Orion Pax. He made his debut in Transformers Season 2. The episode called, appropriately, War Dawn in 1985. He had a brief cameo. He was in the dock when Megatron betrayed Orion Pax. Yeah, so this looks really sharp. We're going to do a little bit of a comparison before we armor him up with his best friend. And you can see the heavy retooling. This is just a straight recolor of Cup. Besides the head, this is, of course, is a heavy retool. And they look really nice. You see in the back where they've added more pieces to the back of the... Really, really sharp. Hi, Orion. So he was in the warehouse during the unfortunate events of Megatron's betrayal. And depending on what continuity you find him in, he is possibly rebuilt into several other Transformers. Some of the lists include Ultra Magnus, Ironhide, you know, people that are close to Optimus. But we will leave that for your speculation. So let's armor him up and take a look at him fully armored. So to do it the way they say, separate this, and these actually plug in. It's giving away its secrets early. To his back, like so. You see the peg? That gives him his iconic backpack look. He has a blaster. And his Energon dispenser. We're going to take a quick look at him in robot form, if his arms would bother staying on him for 2 minutes. Let's take those off. White face with blue eyes. I like that head. Looks really nice. Very generic looking, but still it works for this figure. Got some nice detailing on the neck. And I love the new sculpt of the chest. I just think it looks really sharp. You got the abdomen down here, which is a different color blue. Mixes with this, and then you got the darker color here. Orange for the groin area. The whitish gray here with some nice molding. And of course, this part, the chest and the head, completely remodeled from Orion Paxton Cup. Sadly, you can still see the wheels here, and they still turn. You do have 5mm pegs on the bottom of these. You can even stand on these. I've put these on his feet before. Actually make them taller. See, he'll stand right on them. Oh, wow, that actually helps with his balance. I should have done that originally. Alright, let's take those away for a minute. Again, overall, really cool. Really close to the cartoon adaptation. Articulation. Head will go all the way around. And this is supposed to be light piping, but this is not clear plastic. So, I don't know what the point was if it's not going to be clear plastic for the head, for the eyes. Shoulders will go all the way around, up and down. Bicep, elbow. Waist will go all the way around. Fairly decent big boot. Back. Out. Now this does turn at this ball joint, but to make it easier, I like using just this spot here. Knee joint. Toe and ankle articulation. And of course, considering he's already done it like 20 times in this video, he does do, there it goes. For the 1986 movie, they had a gimmick with Cup where you could take his limbs off because the squid disassembled him pretty much in the water. Cup, all the Cups on that design, Orion and him can do it. Which is really cool because then you can do this. I've done this a few times. Make him look really, really messed up. There. You can do the Cup in all of them. So interesting. War Dawn, of course, was a very pivotal episode, in my opinion. It gives a little background and explanation as to who, what, when, and why. So, in my opinion, it was one of the most profound episodes. And it really introduced two really cool characters. One, of course, being Orion Pax. And the other one, Dion. But another cool character will be the other video, Erial. And we'll go into a real deep history on Erial at that point. Actually, I did these backwards. It's supposed to go this way. Like this. Supposed to be able to see that, and that pushes against that. My issue with mine, though, is the arm on the one side is constantly loose. His arm always comes off. But overall, I do like the figure. I like the way it looks. I like the color scheme, the palette, the design. Except for his balancing issues that I have with mine are not that bad. And posability, he can do a lot. Of course, in combat, I really don't know why he has an Energon Goody block, but he does. There we go. Yeah. So this has been Transformers War Dawn 2-pack. From 2023, this has been Dion. If you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe if you wish. Comments are always welcome. I want to say thank you to all my channel members, and I have more videos on the way. This has been, again, War Dawn Deluxe Class. From 2023, there he goes. I knew it was going to happen eventually. 2023, Transformers Legacy Evolution 2-pack. Have a good day.